At the 3:10 meeting, please let me finish so you can hear my whole thing. If the 3:10 minutes are not mentioning that I said you were violating the Sunshine Act by interrupting my challenge, then that needs to be included in the minutes. Otherwise, you are again violating the Sunshine Act.
My point of order is that the minutes are not public documents.
I asked a question.
And therefore, we are not going to answer because they're not approved minutes, and that we can't be violating the Sunshine
You just
Act,
approved them.
because they're not public records at this point.
Yeah.
You just approved them.
According to the minutes on the March work session for March 10th, your objections were in the minutes.
Which objections? Did you mention all three? That you interrupted my right to, because that's the whole thing. You threatened me about it, so I want to make sure it's in the minutes. That you interrupted my Sunshine Act challenge. That's the one that I want to make sure is in there, because you threatened me about it. So if it's not specifically mentioned, it needs to be mentioned. And the minutes have been approved, so that's why I'm asking. My 3:10 challenge I'm speaking of.
One challenge was of 2:10, one challenge was that we interrupted. She's going to address further was the executive session.
And I sent you a link with the recording. It doesn't matter, it's a Sunshine Act challenge. It doesn't have to be confirmed violation, it's alleged.
Yep, we'll acknowledge it and we'll add that to the minutes.
Thank you.
Well, no, it's appropriately reflected.
Yes.
And acknowledge violation, or your objection. The answer is that we believe the minutes are appropriately reflected, consistent with the Sunshine Act. So we acknowledge the
Okay,
objection.
well, when I see the minutes, we'll see.
This isn't made public, so how will she know it's in the minutes?
I just asked.
There was an ask of the draft.
Okay.
Mr. Walker, I'm going to make a parliamentary inquiry. Typically when you see a Sunshine Act objection unfold, is that supposed to be a back and forth question and answer between a member of the public and the board, or are they supposed to state an objection and the objection is?
Yeah, great question. It is an objection. We acknowledge the objection. We rule on the objection. If we need additional information, we gather it. And if we can move forward, we do. It's very simple. I provided Dr. Mitzel and the board president some procedures to follow in the future of that.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, Steve, back to you.
All right. Finance, Property, and Supply Committee reports. Anybody has any questions on items A through G, please request the letter be pulled and voted on separately. If not, recommend approval for items A through G.
Steve, I'd like to pull letter D and E, please.
Okay, can you say it again, please?
Yep. Letters D and E, please. I was talking first, thank you.
Yeah, okay. One more time, because people were talking
Okay.
and I couldn't hear you.
Thank you. Letters D and E.
Thank you.
Well, you can pull A so we can acknowledge it actually.
A, you got D and E. Any other?
I want to pull F and G.
All right. Is there anybody else? All right.
he's
Just
got
donation.
both.
That's separate.
So just B and C. I've got a motion on the floor to approve letters B and G to B and C on property and supply. Do I hear a second? Ms. Brennan, seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Letter A, approval of the following donations. 1, anonymous donation, and 2, Delta Potter Scholarship final donation.
I've got a motion on the floor to approve the donations listed, anonymous donation and the Elder Potter Scholarship donation. Do I have a second?
Second, Nick Lowell.
I'm assuming the discussion that we want, like always is, to thank everybody that donates.
And I do have a question on number 2, but you go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
That's basically it.
So number 2 said it's the final donation and to be spread against, across girls' sports. Who determines how much of each girls' sports gets what?
Fine, Lawyer.
Mrs. Young, the athletic
start
director.
anything,
She hasn't had much time to kind of determine how she's going to disperse all of
But it'll
the
be fair, right?
Correct.
Any other discussion?
Thank you for the donations.
Yes, thank you. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Recommended approval to place an order for student technology devices for 25-26 school year.
Got a motion on the floor to recommend the approval of the student technology devices for 2025-2026 school year. Do I have a second?
Second.
Brian Lawyer. Discussion. Somebody had this pulled.
Yes, I pulled it. So my question is this a new, I know last week we asked about the iPad and possibly getting a quote. Is this quote for that, or is this upgrading what we currently have?
This quote we have for iPads is
Yes.
for grade 6 and 10.
That's 6 through 10?
Gr-
Oh, 6 and 10.
For grade 6 and 10.
Okay.
Any other discussion on this?
And this is a regularly scheduled purchase of
Correct.
new devices, thank you.
And while I'm on that, I did hear from some constituents in these schools, they would really like the iPads in the lower levels.
That's what I said.
Well, I want to talk about that. No, that's not
Not
time
now.
for just yet.
I'm just.
Sorry.
All right, do I have any other discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
E, recommend approval for early purchasing of Chromebook cycle.
I've got a motion to approve the early purchasing of the Chromebook cycle. Do I have a second?
Second, Brian Lawyer.
Discussion. You pulled that one.
Yes, I pulled down too because I had a question. Because I also heard this same thing, just the last couple days here, that the teachers would like to, or would prefer, I mean, there was the iPads.
In
And
the next
so,
cycle.
in the elementary school. I know we talked about this a little bit last week in the work session, and I apologize for bringing it up tonight, but I pulled it because of the one earlier. I feel like, for me personally, this is gonna be hard because I don't know, are we able to talk with the teachers to see if they would, like, get a general consensus Chromebook/iPads? I mean, if you look at Chromebooks, I know we are using them right now, but transitioning maybe to iPads, the students already know how to use those, the teachers already know how to use those, most of the staff probably has an Apple device that, you know, they are, I don't know if this is a lot of money, to spend out there, to put out there, and if we're looking at possibly bringing in iPads, you know, at the next time we need to upgrade something, I just wanted to bring it to the attention because I heard the same thing, that it seems the general consensus is,
We had started down this pathway when COVID arrived.
Okay.
And trying to get devices in the hands of students at the elementary level. So initially, we went with Chromebooks in that time period with regards to that. So
That's because that was all that was available though, right?
Again,
The cost had a little bit. to do
Their
with
cost
that.
at a,
please state your question, and please, let's stay in the form, let's state your
So
question
can
and
we,
informative.
so this is something we have to do, we have to vote on tonight to get this discounted
Yes.
rate, is that correct?
you don't have to vote on it tonight.
So can we postpone this maybe till next month, maybe get a,
I work for the board, whatever the board decides to do.
I suggest, I highly
What
suggest
would your
going through
suggestion
it, going through with this, that gives that gentleman over there, some time to work on formulating the policy to change everything over to Apple, or if that's what the teachers want. This will give us the benefit of getting the discount and gives him and the staff at the elementary school the time to coordinate changing all the programs and everything to accommodate for the future. Changing, just pushing it overnight or saying just change it to Apple the next, for the next cycle would be very detrimental to the staff and put a lot of stress on
Yes.
the lady at the end.
Yeah, I'm just
and the
concerned
gentleman
that,
that's right
that we
there.
don't put our staff in a position that they can't be successful.
right, well, that's good.
And it's very
Yeah.
important that we're cognizant of that, because I went through a similar situation as a middle school principal, where we were gonna do a phase-in of iPads, and all of a sudden, they said, we're gonna just dump iPads in every student in the middle school's hands, and we had no infrastructure there to support it.
Okay.
I didn't know that, I was just a principal, and a Christmas present was arriving on all 3 floors.
Oh.
But now, sitting as somebody that also works in the technology department, I got a different perspective of what that looked like, and, you know, we need to be cognizant of how that is implemented so that it is effective. We are a mixed elementary school. On the back shelf, you have iPads sitting there because our STEM classroom teacher has a cart of iPads, as well as our music, our PE, our art teachers. And all of our teachers are Mac book teachers. So it's not anything that I don't take lightly. I understand exactly what you're saying. And as we start to look at this as well, there's additional information tonight that Tom's going to share with regards to the Chromebook quote. Then I said that those monies are fluid, and the prices of the Chromebooks have changed since last week.
So if we chose to table this till next month, if that was.
So that's when you said they.
Is that
okay.
gonna affect the price if we still
Hold
went
on.
with the Chromebooks?
Take
Okay.
a commercial break from,
Pass it around.
oh, just give us the highlights, up or down.
It's, up.
I know we have to
So
do
by
something
moving again, it might go up again.
till next month.
Yeah, it's already going up since last week. Since
Well,
the
we weren't
original-
voting on anything last week, just like.
Yeah, but I mean, where we stood. Thank you.
This is just the Chromebooks.
Yes, this is just for letter. Letter.
So they raised it $30,000 since last week?
Well, when I originally got the quote,
Yeah, the Google search also in this book.
Wow.
so yeah, approximately 30,000. So it's something that, you know, I take very seriously as well, trying to get the best price that we can, and hence, you know, where this Chromebook is situated, in the, different models that we were looking at. I'm assuming if I ask for the, updated quote on the other model, it would be even higher.
Is this our only option for Chromebooks?
That was the cheaper option I provided to you.
I mean, I don't mean the actual Chromebook, but I mean the actual company that does the leasing.
No, there's numerous companies that manufacture Chromebooks.
If we sit on this till next month though, is the price gonna go up higher? Is that a possibility?
Possibility.
Or can we get a different
Well,
date? Yeah.
judging by the fact that this expires April 16th, I would say it's more than likely going to change. Now, if you want to gamble, you know, and then you got to think that also with the tariffs going on, if you probably
Yeah, I
go
can just
even more.
provide the information that they provide to me. They gave me a window for the one price. I got an email later on, really today in the afternoon, so I forwarded it to my two colleagues as well as soon as I got it, and like, interesting.
So did the previous quote that we looked at last week, did it have an expiration date?
Yeah, it has an expiration date. Do you want to hold them to that? May need some solicitor help.
Yeah, they've removed that. They've essentially told us that they're not honoring that.
It expired
They said they're not
3/14.
expired.
At the bottom of the
Probably 3 days
one,
ago.
yeah.
So
Why would
we're
we
gonna,
have an expiration date before a voting date?
They don't care,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I'm,
couldn't we have done a special meeting to
I'm
meet
assuming
that
we were
date?
gonna get this, had Janelle not pulled it.
They were gonna get it for discussion.
Oh, yeah.
I,
Couldn't we have done a special meeting to vote so we didn't miss that price date, that expiration date?
yeah.
Well, we're struggling to get this through.
Or can we even for the next one, if we choose not to push this one through tonight?
I mean,
We gotta do something.
I
about
feel
that.
as though if this company wants to do business with us and we're, I mean, I can't speak for everybody. My general feeling is most likely this would have went through tonight, but I don't know if I'm gonna vote to pay for $30,000 for the same thing that was $30,000 less a week ago.
What a shock.
3 days ago.
As
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Hmm?
3 days ago.
Yeah, so.
go up?
That's,
Judging by the fact that it's HP, and it's probably coming down to China.
Most of it
and the
comes out of
tariff-
China.
And the tariffs were imposed,
Yep, 10%.
it may go up again.
because that's a significant percentage.
Dr. Naylor, if the board chooses to wait, what implication might that have on the availability of Chromebooks?
Sorry. Recording device.
That's really funny.
I use it for the meeting. You'll notice I don't have a computer up here.
It's his agenda.
Still a recording device, technically. Since they went after me, Brian, and what you, yeah. They went after me.
So back to the
There's
question.
a lot of unknowns there,
Yeah.
Dr. Metzel,
Yeah.
with regards to supply chain and things of that nature, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's unknown.
It's hard to-
Cost, availability, what it is. Do we have these available earmarked if we were to approve them tonight in order to purchase them this week?
Yes.
With this price going up, I mean, I know we're
It's
at
okay.
a fine line, but we could try to get another quote, maybe a quote from Chromebooks for another company, especially if this is the company, I don't know, is this someone we would use, these people, this company, this is who we've done this with?
In the prior
In the
year,
past?
yes.
It's not the company.
Yeah,
It's not the company.
I know.
If tariffs go away, the prices come down.
But if we are able to, in the meantime, because I don't know if this is okay or not, but this is a lot of money. And since we're already considering adding, like, iPads in, I know kind of slowly, not at one big lump sum, is it possible to get a quote for iPads? And then if we need to have like an emergency voting meeting, if that price is locked in before the next board meeting, just on this particular item, is that doable?
Hold on, your question is very much, you're in a question, because right now I'm thinking this, and this.
Okay,
You're-
can we table this to next month?
No,
No.
at this point, right this second, no.
But I'd like to point out,
Okay.
if I could, that, Apple's, I bet you guys, you're gonna suffer the same thing with Apple's, they all come out of China too.
But,
I don't think it's a bad idea to investigate it,
Yes.
but
but
I'm
wait,
not
hold
saying
on,
we
wait,
would-
hold on. What,
Hold
let
on,
me,
wait.
this is what I hear you asking, and let me-
Okay.
make sure I get this right.
Yeah.
You want us to table this and to get the possible choice of getting Apple to replace these? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, that's not totally able to do, because if you remember from the previous week, you have to make sure that all the programs and the teachers are all able to switch, that everything can do. If you can't just, it's not a light switch, you just can't go, okay, we're gonna give you this instead of this.
Okay.
Not all the programs work on both.
Okay, and I know we did talk about eventually slowly
That's why
bringing it
we-
in. Okay, then if we forget that thought, can we table this and look at other companies that we can get cheaper, maybe some cheaper or less expensive quotes from for this?
Well,
We can table. Okay.
Or can,
That needs a motion.
or can we try to get away with one more year? I don't know why we couldn't.
what I would say is, my intent would be, I'm gonna vote this for it now, because I'm not gonna recommend paying for 20% for something more than what it was last week. I'm also, if this might be, since they're jacking up the price, it might be a good time to ask our administrators to look at and study how we could potentially implement, because we can't just buy them and throw them on people. I do not think we should do that. But I do think that it would be appropriate for you, Dr. Berryman, and Dr. Mitzel, and whatever other team members would be involved, to look at and evaluate what an implementation of iPads in the elementary school would look like. I think it would be a good thing if we're hearing that feedback from teachers. I think we should listen to teachers and look to potentially standardize the district from the technology
Are you saying use the current Chromebooks one more year or something? What do you
Is that,
Well, yeah,
is that a
just-
possibility, Dr. Nail?
Okay.
There's all kinds of possibilities.
I like that possibility.
Okay.
That's a big, that's
Is
a
it
big.
probable to use them and make it through one more year?
Yeah.
We could look at different options like we talked about as to how that might look in K1 and 2, or wherever that may be. These current Chromebooks are currently situated in K1 and 2. So that's why when I say K1 and 2, it's because we recently refreshed grades 3, 4, 5. So we could look at that process across the grade levels at Alloway Creek and look at some different options with regards to a mix of Chromebooks and iPads and what that might entail from our teachers and what their thirst is with regards to an initiative like this moving into the summer and into next year.
I mean, I like that idea, since you're saying we should be able to get at least another year out of what we currently have. This is a big chunk of change, and I know that next year it might not be any cheaper. I mean, maybe it'll be higher, I don't know, but hopefully not. Okay, so do I need to make a motion?
At this point,
No,
motion.
just vote.
We're just voting now?
Yep.
Do we need to do a roll call vote or anything?
No.
No? Okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed?
No.
Okay. Motion does not carry. Okay.
Recommend, F, recommend the approval of, to advertise for ACES paving bid, project bid.
Okay, got a motion to approve the ACES paving project bid through the capital projects. Do I have a second?
Second, Mayor.
Any discussion?
Is it
No.
really that bad, the paving?
Yeah, I'll let Tom talk about it. It was raised during our FPS committee, and it's in the capital projects.
So this was approved back in.
I know it's approved.
Just saying, it's approved back in October, so the paving would entail would be all of the bus loop and the district office lot, and it would try to fix some of the crumbling that's been patched over several years to mill it down, to a petromat, and then repave that surface,
This-
and add some drainage.
This has the map being put down.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah,
So this is just to go out to advertise, to have that before the board to vote on next month.
other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, motion carries.
All right, somebody pulled G.
I did.
1, 2,
G1.
G1. Okay, does anybody else have anything they want to pull? Okay. Recommend approval for payment of invoices 2, 3, 2 cafeteria fund checks, 3 student activity checks, 4 capital project checks, 5 go bond checks, 6 light fund checks, and 7 budget transfer requests.
Got a motion on the floor for payment of invoices of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Do I have a second, please?
Second, Mayor Brown.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
H,
No, G1.
okay. Then, items 1 through 7 is noted.
No.
G, I'm sorry,
We got a motion G1.
G1, sorry.
Okay, I got you.
That's right.
I got a motion on the floor to approve G1 general fund checks. Do I have a second?
Second, Brian Lawyer.
Okay, discussion?
I do.
Okay.
On stock and meter solicitor bills,
Mhm.
$11,460.50. I am absolutely not happy with the transparency on this. I've asked December 9th, this is for the person that threw the laptop at Carl's face the other day. December 9th was the first time in the minutes I asked for it. I also asked for it the February 10th, and I have yet to see all these bills.
What's your question?
I don't have to ask a question. I'm making a statement about what I'm not seeing. I'm not getting the bills.
Okay, we just
We just
went
looked at
through
them
this.
together.
No, we didn't go through all of them.
Okay. And
Because
were
you
told-
said you wanted to come in and do it yourself.
We did not go through all of them.
We've established the process. The process is now that you have to go through in order to see them. It
Yeah,
is
but
your
why are we
prerogative.
paying them before I see them?
Dr. Mitchell, were the bills for this amount, that, were they provided to the board and Mr. Sullivan?
I'm unsure without seeing the invoices that he's requesting.
What month is this from?
Tom, were they provided?
No.
Okay,
And the ones in question are on the board agenda tonight, sir.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
we all sat there at the table together and looked at them.
I can't discuss what we discussed, but I'm telling you they weren't.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion carries.
Item H is for information
Okay.
only.
All right, pause. At this point, Dave, would you like to discuss item H?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your attention. So,
Can you first tell me why it's informational purposes only?
we just shared with the administration last week the engagement letter. I think it was added for information item, and it should be a voting item on your next agenda.
Next agenda.
So, yeah. Thank you. So I'm happy to share that the law firm Stock and Leader, the entirety of our firm, has decided to merge with and join Saxon and Stubb. They're actually taking our office, so we'll still be here in our office in York. We think it's a really great opportunity for the legacy of Stock and Leader to continue in the York and South Central PA market with the backing of a much bigger regional firm. They do have a very well-established school law practice group that is very similar to ours. So from your perspective, nothing will change. We still have the same personnel, myself, and also colleagues that handle policy, school construction, special education, all that. We're all going, we'll all still be there, just different email address and different MMO letterhead. So with your consideration, we'd very much like to continue to serve you into the future. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, does anybody have any other questions of Dave concerning this?
Well, is our solicitor gonna change, are you gonna change?
Yep.
We'll still have you
Unless you
being
want
our
to kick me out,
solicitor?
I'll still be here.
Okay, I'm just, I know there's gonna be any changes, personnel changes for behalf of where you guys go and are outsourced to.